'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh, and today, back on our humongous journey right here on my channel, we are tackling yet another sports game. We are entering the world of football just in time for the big game, and let's take a look right here. Roll the intro. So, Backyard Football is the first game here on our humongous journey that I have never played before. Other games I played, late into my teens, or a lot of them I played when I was a child. This is the first one that I had no previous experiences going in. With a bit of an asterisk, I did play Backyard Football on a console, and I won't be talking about any console games, at least for a long time. But this version, the original version on PC, like the rest of them are, wholly new experience to me. And at its core, it's backyard sports, right? Backyard baseball was such a massive hit, and everyone knows those characters so well, so transferring them to different sports just made sense. And this isn't the first other sport that they went with, but timing just felt right on this one. This is the first one, though, that I've played with actual real-life superstars in it. And that's a big note of contention for me, and I think a lot of other people, where these games started to feel less special as they went on because they started including real athletes in it. So when you choose your team, you can choose real-life athletes in it. So it may be a bit of fun fan service to make a different athlete play on a team that they're not supposed to play on. That's kind of fun, because they're the kid versions, and so when you choose, you pick them alongside the rest of the kids. But the problem is, they can't make their stats bad because no one would ever pick them. So why include them at all? So you have to make their stats good, but then why would you include the original characters on your team at all? So it creates this weird effect of, like, as the game starts to lose its magic of creating this fun cast of characters when the best characters in the game aren't that original cast of characters anymore. I don't know. So I avoided that as much as I could. I did want to see if it did make a big difference to include some of the superstars on my team, and it definitely did. It definitely did make an improvement to have one. You could have a whole team of them if you wanted to. But all that to be said, it is fun to see the original cast of characters have different stats in this game, because they should, right? It shouldn't just be that Pablo is the best, and then Pete and Ahmed and Keisha are really good, even though they're pretty good in this as well. But other characters that are horrible at baseball are really good here. Someone like Dimitri, who I constantly say is a perfect 9th round draft pick in backyard baseball, is actually a really good 1st round pick here. He has a really good set of stats. And someone like Pablo, of course, continues to be good here. And I assume in the other 2 sports games we'll cover, the other characters will be really good in those as well. So that part is an absolute pleasure. The game, though, in terms of actually playing football, isn't all that great, unfortunately. You get to choose the play you want to run, either offensively or defensively, so that's nice. It does mix it up, and it makes it so that the computer has to think on its feet, maybe, and you have to think on your feet when you choose a defensive play against their offensive play and vice versa. But the game feels way too random and way too touchy and way too glitchy is not the right word, but janky, I guess, is the right way to put it, to where I feel like I click on a character to pass to and it'll overshoot or undershoot, and I'll get an incomplete or an interception, and I don't really know why I did what I did or what caused that to happen, and that happens all the time. On the flip side, though, you get a decent pass or a decent rush, if you get past the defense, they really can't catch up to you. And then it's an easy touchdown, and then that's that. It's also confusing when playing defense where the ball is. And I get that's part of the whole thing about football. But when you're playing a game that's designed for children, at least we forget, to have a game be difficult and challenging for me to fully grasp, it kind of says that if I would have played this game as a kid, I wouldn't have played it very much. Now, a bit of backstory. Football is my favorite sport to watch. Has been for a few years now. Baseball is the one I have the most history with. Backyard baseball being a part of that history. So, involving myself in football wasn't something I really grew up with all that much. So, I wouldn't have played this game as a kid regardless. But if I did, say the roles were reversed, I don't think I would have enjoyed this game all that much. Maybe I would have forced myself to like it. Maybe I would have learned to love the characters. But I just think that Backyard Baseball is a much better designed game than Backyard Football. It has more options in terms of fun things you can do. This one, it feels like all you can do is run a quick play game, or you can do a whole tournament to go to the Cereal Bowl. And that's about it. Where your Backyard Baseball, you could have a pickup game and you could have the World Series. Or you could do like T-ball, and there's home run derby, and there's the pitching machine, and there's a ton of stuff, right? This one doesn't really have any of that, unfortunately. I do give it props, though, like I said, for different characters being good at different things, including some characters that are atrocious in baseball. Even them making them a really good kicker or something like that is a fun way to include them on your team where you wouldn't have done that before. Unfortunately, that's like about it. There's really not much else to discuss in terms of Backyard Football. It's extremely light on content when compared to its predecessor, Backyard Baseball. It's not very fun when you're playing the game itself. It feels a little janky. It feels half-baked. I do think that there are ways to improve it. I don't even think there were power-ups, at least none that I experienced when playing it. Even if there are, I don't know how to get them. I didn't find any neat secrets, and I even tried to look some of them up. Maybe like if you had certain characters on certain teams or certain pros on their specific teams, they would do better. And I tried that. I played one with a Patriot and one without a Patriot on the Patriots, and it didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. So, obviously, I wasn't going to like it as much as a Humongous Adventure game, just based on my own tastes. And I knew that. But it is a shame to just kind of want to not play this one again. And I know that there are other versions, and maybe we'll get into those someday. But for now, the original Backyard Football is probably the least favorite game I've talked about on this journey so far. So, that was Backyard Football. What are your opinions on this game? Did you play this one back in the day, or was Backyard Baseball your only one? Let me know down below. I'm interested to see your opinions. I'm interested to see where this franchise can go now that this Backyard Sports seems to be picking back up again. I mean, there was just an animated short a few days ago. So, I know that Backyard Baseball is the one that they're really pushing. Because, of course it is. That's the one that everyone remembers. But, I mean, there are other sports that they did. So I'm hoping that those other sports get a little bit of the limelight as well. So, thank you so very much for watching. As always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.